Well, just when you think it's going to be a calm news day for once, boom, something always has to happen. A lot of frenzy out there right now over a cryptic tweet surfacing in the recent hours. Could the Philadelphia 76ers see a reunion with a former sharpshooter in the coming days? We will discuss it all. Let's go. Perfect. What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome on into Philly Take with RB, your number one hotspot for Sixers coverage 24/7. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content, man. Road to 20K. Appreciate you all. 8 games left in the regular season. We'll be covering it all, and obviously we will be expediting the coverage come playoff time. I cannot wait. Yesterday, the Sixers fell to the Phoenix Suns. We will briefly talk about that. It was a tough contest, a tough game. Sixers ended up blowing a couple leads, but we went up against the NBA's best. We put up a decent fight, and we fell short late in the game. And now we have the Milwaukee Bucks tomorrow, hoping to bounce back, sort of like a benchmark game, right? Because the number 1 to 4 seeds in the Eastern Conference are literally separated by a half a game. It's going to be a wild finish. I cannot wait to see what happens. And a lot of talk, man. A lot of conversation for once late in the season. These games matter. And there's a lot of storylines. It's going to be interesting to see, how it plays out. But the Sixers definitely need to bounce back, and I'm looking forward to it tomorrow night. We will also discuss the whole Ty Lue, Darryl Moore thing, because there is even another step today. But first and foremost, we need to get into the bread and butter, man. We need to get right into it. Just a little while ago, former Sixers sharpshooter J.J. Redick putting this out on his Twitter. Now, J.J. Redick, man, former Sixers sharpshooter, former just NBA great when it comes to knocking down the deep ball. And, shout out to J.J., man. He's been doing his thing in terms of the podcasting game, hosts his own podcast, goes on different shows. He's even hired to ESPN now because he just knows the game, right? He knows how to talk ball. And honestly, as someone who has, tuned into his shows and stuff, I mean, he knows what he's talking about. He's done a great job, and shout out to him. And J.J. Redick took to his Twitter today to purposely put this out. Now, he puts out this tweet, no caption, just a little smiley face, and it's J.J. Redick sitting in front of the Sixers press conference media, wallpaper background, whatever, with a little smirk, right? Now, first thought is, JJ, what does this mean, man? What are we doing here? You're just going to randomly put that out. You're just going to put that out with no caption, no substance, nothing. It's a little hint. It's a cryptic tweet. And he obviously threw Sixers Nation up into a frenzy. He knows exactly what he's doing. And after taking 5 minutes originally to think about this, the only thought I had in my mind is there is absolutely no reason to post this on Twitter other than to signal a potential comeback with the Sixers. Honestly, that was my main thought. There's just, I don't understand why he would be so, down low about it, right? Like, unless he's just purposely trying to troll, I don't really view J.J. Redick as that type of person. I will say, though, before coming on literally just minutes ago, I received a message from a source saying that this could potentially be podcast related, whether it's his own podcast with maybe, I don't know, a guy like Joel Embiid. So I just wanted to hop right back in for a second and cut in because I just got done recording. And of course, something comes out immediately after. Apparently, the source was correct with their information. JJ just posted this on his Twitter that he recorded an episode of his podcast with Joel Embiid. So doesn't seem like Redick will be coming to the Sixers, but I'm still going to leave in the rest about why I would actually entertain the idea of bringing him back for the last few games and seeing what he has left in the tank. In terms of on-the-floor type of performance, obviously he hasn't played all year. He spent the last 2 years in New Orleans, and he was banged up. He was playing with a bad team. He went to Dallas, and he just wasn't the same. He didn't look the same. As he's gotten older, 37 years old now, he's dealt with a lot of injuries, and that's going to happen as you age. But other than that, going back before his days in New Orleans, he was with the Sixers for a couple years and probably had the best years or two of the best years of his career, right? Shooting 39.7% from three, then shooting 42% from deep, and, averaging 17, 18 points a game. And there's a reason even more, though, than on the floor that I think he would like to come back, and that's just playing with the greatness of Joel Embiid. As somebody who has occasionally tuned in to his podcast and stuff, I have heard JJ Redick talk so highly about Joel Embiid. This was actually before Embiid matured, and Redick had said at that time, and even now, that, Embiid was by far the best teammate he's ever played with, giving him open looks and just having that chemistry between those two. It seems like a common theme, as it pertains to Joel Embiid and sharpshooters, for example, Seth Curry, because they just are able to establish that good connection with Joel Embiid. And I think Redick definitely enjoyed his time here. I even heard a question with JJ Redick before where he had said that if he could go back in his career and do one thing over, it would be his time with Philly to try to get another chance at a championship, because he genuinely loved playing here, loved the crowd, the atmosphere. He was all in on Philadelphia, and he honestly thought that our team probably could have gone farther than they did, and, it was a tough bounce in Game 7. And then even after that, he wanted to stay here. He never wanted to leave, but the Sixers never even offered him a contract, and he ended up on his way out, going to New Orleans, and then his career kind of just went downhill very quickly. But, overall, I think JJ Redick, even with his former coach, Doc Rivers, I think Redick would love playing here in Philadelphia. And, in terms of would you welcome him back? For me, absolutely, I would. And I know Sixers fans will instantly overreact to that and, JJ Redick's too old, this, and that. Like I've said with every other free agent signing, number one, it wouldn't hurt to give the guy a chance, see what he can do. I mean, I'm sure he's been staying in shape. He's even, hinted multiple times at just coming back this year because he loves the game so much, and he wants to, have that final opportunity to win a ring. Number two, and this is even more than the on-the-court type of play, because obviously our bench needs some consistent shooting, and they need somebody to step in, and Redick has his flaws. He's a defensive liability, and this, and that, and we know that, right? But even more than on the floor, even if he doesn't play a minute, the reason I would like JJ Redick back, which is the same thing I said when I made this video last year, is because of his experience and leadership. And right now, the fact of the matter is the Sixers could use more leaders, more guys to get other guys up, hold other guys accountable, and just be more of a voice in the locker room. I think we have select guys like that, but on the bench, I could see us being able to benefit from another guy like that. And JJ Redick, just with his knowledge and experience, he's a guy when he's in the locker room, you instantly turn your head and you respect that guy just given his track record. And Redick is a guy that, these guys could learn a lot from. And I think even in a late season stint, I wouldn't even mind giving him a chance, seeing what he has. But it wouldn't hurt, right? It wouldn't hurt, because is Furkan Korkmaz going to be consistent come playoff time? I don't even know if he's going to play. Is Shake Milton going to be consistent come playoff time? I don't know if he's going to play. And we need more dogs, and JJ Redick can be a dog, and he can bring that energy, man, and, he can be a guy, like I said, that other dudes look up to and learn something from, even if he came back as more of like a player-type coach. I would honestly take JJ Redick over Danny Green, as crazy as it may sound, at least to give him a chance. Now, if he doesn't have anything left, then fine. Get rid of him, let him sit on the bench and be a player coach. I don't know. But I would definitely take a look at it if JJ is interested. The last thing we will discuss, we've kept up for a couple days with this whole Daryl Morey, Ty Lue thing. Ty Lue originally said that James Harden and Joel Embiid would not be top 10 scorers without their free throws. It was kind of taken out of context a little bit, but Ty Lue did, in fact, say those words. And then Daryl Moore tweeted back at him saying that, the Clippers would be like the worst team offensively in the league without free throws, and that you need to stop the other team's best scorers if you don't, if you're complaining about fouls, then just stop them instead of fouling them. Anyway, the media, I guess, for the Clippers asked Ty Lue about this, and then he had another response today saying, last time Daryl Moore tweeted, he cost the NBA $1 billion, pretty much telling him to shut his mouth and, focus on his team. My simple response to this is, this picture right here. Still my favorite picture by far, man. Whoever did this is incredible, man. I love it. But nah, in all seriousness, man, Ty Lue, what are you talking about, man? The Clippers are not that relevant. They keep talking about Paul George coming back and you know, Kawhi maybe come back. Clippers are done till next season, okay? Worry about your team. It got blasted by the Sixers. And again, just like everybody else complaining about Embiid and Harden, if you don't want to get the foul calls, then stop them. Play defense, bring help defense, do something else. It's a part of the game. Embiid and Harden are both gifted scorers, and it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And then there was another funny thing here where apparently this picture surfaced, and during the Sixers-Clippers game, Joel Embiid went up to Ty Lue and said, "Oh, I can't score without free throws, huh?" So I like how Embiid took this personal and got fired up and had an amazing game and went right up to him, confronted him, kind of probably joking as well. But Ty Lue apologized or whatever, explained to Joel Embiid that the quote was taken out of context and, they had an understanding. But Ty Lue, I don't know why you're still running the mouth, man. Just worry about your team. Darryl Moore, defending his players. That's what he does. He's a fan of the game. But at the end of the day, those are just my thoughts on everything. I want to hear from you. Give me all your thoughts on everything down below in the comment section. Like always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect.